My name is Carlton Rowe. I am a Pedro Sauer black belt via Keith Owen. Rest in peace, sir. And I'm here today with none other than Stephen Lester.
Hello.
He is the prodigal son, has returned. Stephen, the reason that we have you here today is because almost, and I don't know if you've noticed other than the clips that I have sent you, but almost every podcast that I've done so far, your name comes up.
I'm super important like that.
You're kind of a big deal, and we're going to talk a little bit about how that is and why that is. But I think that it was important for those that have heard me talk to others about you. Mm-hmm. I think it's important for those who weren't there during that time for them to be able to hear you and learn about you. And I just think it's awesome. So thank you for being here.
Not a problem.
I do appreciate it. Stephen Lester, you've been gone for
about 3 years.
About 3 years. Yeah. It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
So give a short introduction, what rank you are, why you started training, that kind of stuff.
Okay. My name is Stephen Lester. I am a 2-stripe blue belt under Carlton Rowe, who was Pedro Sauer, Keith Owen, affiliate, all that. Yeah, I quit coming. I had work issues, worked in fiberglass. It wasn't super awesome to be touched. So, yeah, that was the reason for most of the departure. But mostly just came down here to, I don't know, better myself. I mean, you were in MMA school mostly when I started. It was mostly just trying to get a workout in, and all those guys.
You were, it's funny, so your brother was here before you.
Yeah.
Not long before you, but he was here before you. And those were such rough days. Like,
They were bad.
People have often heard me talk about, and the new group of people, they just hear the stories. But for those that weren't here, I don't know if you've listened to any of the other episodes, and if you have, and if I've over exaggerated it, feel free to let me know. But those days were fucking terrible.
They were bad.
They were so terrible.
Mostly the clientele.
Yeah. That's what it came down to.
People were chugging beers and throwing them in your trash here. Yeah.
I didn't tell them to say that.
It's not.
We've talked about
that. That was for real.
It was terrible. And not to stroke your ego, but you were kind of a light in very dark times, right? Because you came down because you had, your brother was down here, so you came down to see what it was all. You moved from Florida, right?
Yeah.
You were living down there for a while.
For a little bit with my dad.
So you came up from Florida. You were looking for a way to pass the time, and you came, and you came literally at the worst time of our existence. And you were always had a smile on your face, always joking, always just put up with the bullshit. And there was so much bullshit.
There was a lot.
You had a couple cage fights.
Yeah. One, at least.
Was it one?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was one and done. I wanted to go undefeated for the rest of my life.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, nice. So undefeated cage fighter Stephen Lester.
Brag.
But you were down here during a very, very rough time. Literally during a time where I had contemplated closing it down every day as I came over.
Yeah.
Because I hated it so much. And then you were also here during the Keith Owen, the affiliation, like when we first became affiliated. Yeah. Do you remember? Because he called you. Do you remember this? He called you, Rob. I mean, was it Sean? There was a couple of you. He asked for a list of names for references that he could call, and I gave you guys the names. Or I gave him your guys' names, I should say.
I don't really remember a call. I'm not saying he didn't.
Yeah.
My memory's a little foggy. Okay. So that was a while ago.
That was 2014.
Yeah, that was
10
years ago.
Yeah, 11 years ago. Yeah.
11 years ago. Oh, poop.
A long time ago.
Edit that part out. I'm not done.
But you were here. You were here during the beginning of all that.
Yeah.
And during the implementation of the curriculum. And during the implementation of the gi. Like, you remember when I pulled the trigger and everybody had to have a gi.
Dude, we had like 2 different belt ranking systems at one point.
Yeah, we had an in-house ranking system with very formalized testings because I came from a traditional martial arts background. So we had We had everything because we were Ronin. We were training without a master, right?
Right.
We had nobody, and then with the emergence of Keith Owen and Team Rhino, once we went with them, you were like, so you got to see, in my opinion, you get to see the very worst of what we've ever had, and the worst way to operate a business, and the worst way to conduct business, and you've got to see it at its very best. I think right now we are at its very best.
Oh, easily.
We've had some good times through the entirety of the association affiliation. We've had it great.
Yep.
It's things instantly improved. They improved so much from the time that structure was put in place. And although we've had great times, I think right now we have the best group of people. We have the best curriculum. I think we have the best carefree and laid back environment. Just overall, my happiness to teach and my happiness to come over here is at an all-time high, and it's been that way for a handful of years now. To where in the beginning, not in the beginning, but during those days, the dark ages, literally every day I had to find the courage to come over here to keep going because I hated what I was doing and where we were headed. I could not stand it. Right. So that being said, give me a memory of the dark ages that you can't get out of your head, or that solidifies the fact that it was the dark ages. Give me something that when we talk about those days, give me something. I don't care what it is.
I won't name names, but they know who they are.
Okay.
One day, rolling after class, we're getting around to get ready to go, and for some reason, a penis just flops right in front of my face.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
Rough.
That is unacceptable.
Right.
And that is the reason why we couldn't have the clientele that we needed, because of dirt
Stuff like that.
bags and just dirty people like that would drive any good people out the door.
And sadly, at the time, we were half a workout facility, half martial arts mats.
Yep.
So at any given time, we could have a 55-year-old woman in here on the elliptical.
On their vacation.
Trying to get a workout in. And we've got people running around whipping their dicks out.
Yeah.
Right? Those same people are the people that are butthurt and think that I talk trash about them. And it's like, dude, you guys did this to yourself. That clientele did this to themselves.
Well, you acted like trash.
You acted like trash.
Treated like trash.
Yeah.
It's what it is, guy.
It's just, it was bad. And when we often tell these stories, there's a lot of times that, like, when it comes up, I'm so disgusted by the way that people acted that I couldn't even, a lot of times I'm just speechless. Yeah. Right. But that's one example of 100 examples.
Well, that was just my first instant example that I could think of. I got more. So
that's an infamous one.
That was bad.
Yeah. So, with that being said, and because I don't want to live in the dark ages, when Rob and I did his first appearance on the podcast, we talked exclusively about the dark ages, and it was therapeutic. Yeah, we got a lot of it out.
Rob's another one who's also been there from like the very beginning, right? Like the beginning of your school entirely.
Pretty close. So I opened in 2007. He joined in 2010. So no, I'm sorry. We actually started working together at the same place in 2010. He started because he was doing his own thing.
Right.
2011, 2012. Still for a long time.
Right.
Right. So I wasn't open that long before he had come out. So yeah, he's one of the OGs. But really, when it comes to that time frame, so are you. Right. Especially with the people that are left.
Right.
You're one of the OGs.
Well, I guess if we're going based off who's left, then yeah.
Right. So we'll go off of this. Based off of the pictures on the wall. Right? If you look at those pictures on the wall, you got Tony Farinini, which I would love to have back if Tony's watching. I think he's like, there's only a handful of people on that wall that are still training. Right. Excluding the purple belts. Right, anybody above blue belt, they're still here for the most part. But blue belts, because of the whole blue belt curse.
Just the four of us are me, Tony, Rob, and Sean are the only ones on that wall that
are
I guess you would
OGs.
say, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. So yeah, it's literally you and Rob.
Jiu-jitsu is a tough sport, man.
It's a tough sport. So that being said, so you've been gone for 3 years. And I told you I wasn't gonna. I'm not attacking you.
It's okay. I'm ready. I woke up early.
You've been gone for 3 years, and you've been missed. We talked. We always talked highly of you. We always wished that you would have come back. And I was so excited when you got a hold of me recently, and we sat down and we got to talk. And not just because of jiu-jitsu, but because you're my buddy.
Right.
Like we would spend.
We were genuinely friends. Yeah.
Outside of here, like we spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And then, but life happens, right? And you'll hear me say, there's no good excuse to miss. There's no good excuse to stop.
Right.
And I still believe that.
I believe that
But
too.
it's
even
real.
though I had an excuse and I stopped, I still believe that.
I guess the difference for me now is with how long I've been in it and the stories that I hear from people is while I stand by the fact that there's no good excuse.
Right.
But there are acceptable excuses.
I mean, well, like you said, it's just life.
It's just life.
It's not like I had any ill will leaving this place.
Right.
Like, fuck all you guys. No, it wasn't like that. It was,
Well, walk me through the point, and I'm not looking to. I'm talking about like the wife, the kids, changing jobs, because life happens, and life happened a lot to you
it was pretty fast.
in
right
about
there
a
for
year and a
minute,
half. Yeah, like things got busy.
Yeah.
And was it just overwhelming? Did it get to the point where you were like, I barely have room to. I don't have enough time to breathe.
All of it's overwhelming. It's
Yeah.
still a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get over it, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, in the best sense of the word that I can think of. It's just I'm trying to being here and doing all this. I genuinely felt happy here.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I haven't really. I guess not happy. I just nothing to take my mind off of things. I have no distractions outside of kids.
Right.
But you know, you need a distraction from them too. Sometimes I think
do.
they're quite a handful.
Doesn't mean you don't love them.
Right. It's just sometimes I want to come and choke somebody out.
Yes.
So that way, you know,
You don't choke your kids out.
whatever. I didn't say it.
I get it. So you were gone, like I said, for 3 years at best. Like we're like guesstimating.
Yeah, roughly. It was,
Roughly 3 years. What you woke up one day and like so we've messaged occasionally. And you woke up one day and you were like, no, I think I want to try this again. Because you got a hold of me and we got together, had a couple beers, watched some jiu-jitsu stuff. Where did everything change? Where was the hesitancy at first and what made you get over it?
well, so it was mostly my job, right? Like
Yeah.
I didn't really want to be touched. My skin was broken out. I was disgusting. And I don't know. I got transferred over to a new job. I wasn't in the fiberglass anymore, and it was always my plan to come back. Like I never wanted to be done with jiu-jitsu fully. I didn't even really wanted to take a 3-year break.
Right.
It wasn't until I came back that I really realized, like, oh shit, it's been 3 years.
It's been 3 years.
Like time goes by fast,
Yeah.
and you don't even realize.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was always my plan to come back. So I guess the minute I got out of that job, my excuse was gone. There was
Gotcha.
no reason for me to not come to class anymore, other than the
Gotcha.
fact I was just being lazy.
Okay.
So get up and go to class.
So you had to have that talk with yourself, like,
Yeah.
don't be a piece of shit. I
And, you
still
know,
love this.
That's why when I got a hold of you, it was, I don't know. I didn't want to just come back.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, like, because I did leave
Yeah.
for 3 years.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how you guys, I mean, I knew how you guys felt, but I didn't want to step on any toes.
Because
or
you've had
anything.
people reaching out to you.
Right,
like,
right, right.
"Dude,
I
what
knew
about-"
you guys wanted me back. It was just, I don't know. I wanted to come to you first about it.
Yeah, you wanted to do it diplomatically.
Sure.
Like I was going to say no.
Yeah. Well, you know,
No, Steven, you've been gone too
I
long.
knew you weren't going to tell me no.
No. I believe that you are. And so, first and foremost, this podcast is going to do a lot for your ego. So just you have to try your best to control it.
Okay.
I think that you'll have to. I think that if you don't realize it yet, you are so ingrained in the history of it because of all the people that we hated training with back then. You were one of the ones that weren't hated, and people not only wanted you back, but have missed you and have talked about you and reached out to you to come back. And so that says something about your character.
Well, I like to think it's because I'm not a dickhead training partner.
It's a
helps.
big, and your mat etiquette for, and I'm not saying this to be mean, for only being a 2-stripe blue belt, your mat etiquette is spot on, dude. Like everybody loves training with you. Everybody.
Thank you.
Like like today, nobody knew you were coming. And we were who were we talking about? We were talking about, I think, Bush. And I'm like, no, he's on his way. He's going to run late. I said, actually, Steven's going to be here because we're doing a podcast. And they were like, what? Like instantly people get excited that you're coming because they love to roll with you because you're playful. You're strong. You got good jiu-jitsu for being gone for 3 years. You got good jiu-jitsu.
I forgot a lot of it.
But your mat etiquette was, and I know you were worried about that. You were worried about coming back and like being a dick and flailing around and
right. I didn't want to hurt somebody on accident because I forgot what I was doing.
yeah,
You know,
and dude, it feels like you haven't left. Now you probably feel rusty.
Maybe to you, I don't know. I feel otherwise. I feel the difference in being gone.
Yeah, I bet.
And all my training partners are now like a whole belt above me.
Right.
So
Right.
I mean, good for them. That is super good. I should have been there with them, but
There'd probably be something
you
wrong.
take a break, and this is what you get.
If you left for 3 years and everybody came and you came back and everybody was the same rank, there's probably a problem.
That probably would not have been a good sign.
Right, like what's going on here?
You know,
Yeah. So what has surprised you? And you've only had a handful of classes since you've been back, and it's still very sporadic. Your new job, are you on the first shift or second?
first.
Dude, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hours will be,
I
but
still
that's
got time. 6 to 2:30, so I can still be
badass,
here.
dude. Badass. I was worried about that when I heard you say that earlier today. I was like, damn it. Hope it's not off shift.
No, sir.
That's great, dude. So you've only had a handful of classes since you've decided to reemerge yourself into this world. Has anything surprised you since you've come back?
Oh, I mean, like just about the place or about the people?
Yeah, anything. Yeah.
Okay.
It could be facility wise. It could be people. It could be training. It could be whatever.
Well, let's just the people that I used to roll with, they're all still here, and I think that's fucking great.
That's pretty awesome.
I mean, there was no really new faces where it's like, oh, I might have to worry about him. No, everybody knows. You know, they know how to roll. They know me. We're all friends, I believe, outside of here. You know, so I don't know. It's just a comfortable environment.
So you were able to walk back into a family.
Yeah, and that was. It made it a whole lot easier.
Rather than walking and seeing 30 new faces.
Right.
You were like,
And that's what I was expecting. I mean, it's been 3 years. I was expecting to see a lot of new people.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 of them are I don't recognize.
It's the same family. They just have different color belts.
And they show it really well. I mean, Wendy's rolling with Wendy. She's amazing.
It's
Yeah.
Tell me that's not a different role.
Like Justin's about the same. He tries to wrist lock me all the time. That's expected.
Yeah, she's fun to roll because she'll do stuff that the guys won't do.
Yeah.
And it really, when it comes down to, and I'm going to ask you the question later, but when it comes down to when people have to name like their favorite people to roll with, it's literally you and her.
Yeah, Wendy's definitely top on my list too. And she's just, I know one that I'm not going to die with her.
Right. She's not trying to kill you.
She's not trying to crush me.
Nope. She just wants room to work.
Right.
That's it.
And so, yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah.
Dylan's obviously great to roll with.
Yeah.
Very mindful of everybody and everything and tries to make sure, you know, you're not getting hurt.
Yeah.
You know, we just have a great group of people to roll with.
It's really, it's something else. And if you come down here and you don't find the group of people to be great, you should probably leave.
Yeah.
Just go someplace else.
I mean, we're open to anybody. If you're not open to it, then it's just not going to work.
It's not going to work. Yeah. Nobody's, the clientele of people won't change collectively because, and we have a rough, when I say a rough group, we have a very politically incorrect group of people.
Sure.
Right. From all walks of life, all different beliefs. So there's a lot of times when a new person comes out to try it out, it's like, everybody calm down. Like, let's not scare this person away before they even get a chance to, you know. But yeah, I can't say enough about the student body and about the people that we have. Is there anything after being gone for 3 years? Is there anything that was a disappointment when you came back?
No. I mean, like I said, it's not like I left for any particular reason. So when I came back, it was all relatively the same.
Right.
I mean, people wise, I mean, sure, you got a couple extra pictures on the wall. I mean, Couple extra belt colors in here. That's cool.
Yeah.
Black belt.
Right?
Whoa.
Right.
That's cool.
When you left, was I purple?
Purple. No, I think you had just gotten brown, or you were testing for brown. One of the two.
Okay. So you were going to go with me on that testing. What testing was that for? Was that for purple or was that for brown? No, it's for brown.
It was for brown. I was going
And
to
you got COVID.
I couldn't. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so that would have been 2020-ish, right? 'Cause that's kind of when COVID happened, because it was COVID-19. So I think it was 2020. We were going to head out.
That was so
literally
stupid. That was
days
so
before
stupid.
you test positive for COVID at work, and that was like when the world didn't know, like, if they found out and I was on a plane, are they going to take me to jail? Like, nobody knew.
You know what the worst part is about that?
You never even got symptoms.
I didn't get symptoms. I didn't even have to work that day. I left my flight itinerary in my freaking locker, so I had to go in and get it, and they caught me. Hey, since you're here, let's just knock it out. Oh, sure. COVID.
Dude.
COVID. Like, what?
That was an interesting trip because you and I had worked together for several months.
Yeah, I was supposed to be your training dummy down
Yeah,
there.
you were going to be my okay. And then we get down there, and I was so bummed because when you work with somebody for so long, and then days before you're supposed to, I mean, ideally you're supposed to be able to do it on anybody, right? But we had a chemistry.
Sure.
And to look the best, you want to rehearse. And we were rehearsing, we were going through, we were for months. And then you couldn't go. And Justin, who was testing for blue down there, after he finished testing, they killed him, dude.
Yeah.
You know what they do to people
Yeah,
going blue. They killed him. And he jumped up and was my partner. I mean, he was literally using his inhaler after he was done. And I was like, bro,
I bet.
Let's go. And
Let me use your inhaler. Let's go.
let's go, dude. So he jumped in last minute. We didn't even, when we went through my stuff here that night that you came and told me you couldn't go. And so I was like, let's just run through it real quick. I did none of the throws because I didn't want to hurt him right before his testing.
Right.
And I knew that he would test first. So it was just, man, that whole
And
thing.
that was the thing. I've already went through my injuries. I knew how to fall.
You
I
knew
was
how to
ready.
fall. Yeah.
Damn it.
All that work, a trip that was paid for.
Yeah.
It was all done, dude. Man. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I often think about that. But yeah, that was for brown. Because Derek was my uke for purple. And then you were supposed to be my uke for brown, turned into Justin. And then Justin worked with me all the way to black.
Well, I think thank God for Justin, and you still had somebody to train
Right.
with. I mean, I'm sure you would have gotten down there and been able to use anybody.
Yeah, yeah. You know how it is. It's always better if you have the person that you've been working with. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay, so nothing surprised you, nothing disappointed you. That's good. So you were able to come back in and jump right back in.
It was literally like I hadn't left.
It
other than
literally
the fact
felt like that.
I'd forgotten a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
But I mean,
Step
other than the
behind.
obvious,
Yeah.
it felt like nothing had changed.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the people in the place, and the times were the same. That was cool.
Literally, the class times were the same.
Right.
That's how consistent we are.
And that's not a bad thing at all.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah. So then give me your very favorite thing. So like if you were trying to recruit one of your friends that have never been on the mat, give me your pitch, give me your elevator speech. What is your favorite thing about jiu-jitsu?
Oh man.
And I've been doing it for so long, I literally could stand in front I could do a TED talk on jiu-jitsu, but give me your favorite thing or your elevator speech about jiu-jitsu. What is your favorite thing?
I don't know. I'm such a freaking 90s baby, and freaking martial arts movies were all the hip. That's what I always wanted to do, right? I guess if I had to sell this to people, which I've tried a couple times unsuccessfully.
Yeah.
But, this is just a great brotherhood. It makes me personally, it makes me feel like I'm a part of something.
Yeah.
Like something bigger, something important.
The camaraderie.
The camaraderie of it. I have long-lasting friendships outside of jiu-jitsu now. I mean, I might have met all these people in jiu-jitsu,
Right.
but it's nothing to shoot any of them a text. Hey, let's go get a beer or something. You know what I mean? We can hang out outside of here. You'll make lasting friendships. Trustworthy people. I mean, we have a clean area, which is
Says a
pretty
lot.
important.
That's pretty important.
And considering it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
We're literally in a field.
Yeah.
A cornfield.
But it works.
It works.
I guess it would be better to know something than to know nothing at all.
Sure.
I don't know.
What is that famous quote? It's better to be. I can't remember if it was. I don't know. You see it. It's like a super popular meme, but it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war or something.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean, yeah, essentially.
Most people that practice this stuff, the last thing that they want to do is have to use it.
Sure.
And if you're the person that practices it and you walk around looking to use it, you don't train here.
Yeah, you're not doing it right.
No.
Check your ego.
Yeah, you're gone, bro.
Yeah.
But and we've had a couple of those people, but the majority of us train and practice and go through the grind and probably will never have to use it.
Which is good. That's
Which
what
is
I
great.
hope for.
Yeah.
But, on the off chance that I might have to, I know I can.
Right.
And which is probably a lot more than what majority of the people walking around town
For
can say,
sure. For sure. If you get your blue belt in jiu-jitsu, you are a lifetime ahead of people that have never trained.
Right.
If you get your blue belt in jiu-jitsu, you're a black belt ahead of traditional martial arts black belts. And I can say this because I'm a traditional martial arts second-degree black belt.
Right.
And as a second-degree black belt, and most people have heard me tell the stories, but as a second-degree black belt, when I tried jiu-jitsu, I was humbled for a long time. So if you're a traditional martial arts black belt and you're watching this and you're getting all pissy with me, I too am a traditional martial arts black belt. I did all of it. It's not like I joined jiu-jitsu and everything else was dumb. I did 12 years of traditional martial arts. So when I started training in jiu-jitsu, to roll with a blue belt was pretty rare.
Yeah.
Purple belts were unicorns.
I think you were the first purple belt that I ever
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because
you were blue when I started. So.
Yeah. So geographically where we're at, anybody that was above blue belt when I started they were living legends.
Yeah.
Right? So that meant that the majority of the time I was getting my ass handed to me by white belts that were much smaller than me. We've all heard people say these stories, but I was a second degree black belt. Like, so if you're even today, if you're a blue belt, if you're a legit blue belt in jiu-jitsu, you are a black belt ahead of traditional martial arts black belts. I'll say that, and that'll be the hill I die on, because I know what happens to traditional martial arts black belts when they do jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And I was a traditional martial arts black belt who thought I kind of knew some of it.
Sure.
And I was playing around with it until I got there, and it was like, whoa, I have no clue what struggle is. I have no clue what grit is. I have no clue what any of this is.
It's a little different when you can't just throw a kick.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Changes everything.
Yeah.
Which at that point when I opened, so I opened in 2007. So when we opened, we had to do the whole we marketed, we appealed, we opened with the premise of MMA.
Yeah.
Because that was what was really big at the time. There's multiple amateur shows happening. There was all of that. And I was working.
MMA was huge.
It was huge.
Yeah.
And now when I hear people talking, oh, so-and-so's got to fight, and it's like, but he's also got a full-time job. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're in your 40s, dude.
Right.
What are you doing?
I got a kid at home.
Right.
I'm just going to let you punch me in the face.
Right. This is going to be great.
I don't know, dude.
UFC's watching, though. I'm going to be the next. No, you're not, dude.
No, not likely. Not coming from here.
You're not even insured. You're going to get hurt. And like, what is the point?
Are you lining people up to come watch you? I don't know. There's a whole thing to it other than just being a part of a Sturgis cage match.
Yeah,
at the auditorium.
It's just silly. It's silly. But while I was on an off shift and that was our selling point, I literally, that's my whole focus was to try to teach jiu-jitsu. And I was a white belt. Right. So like to try to teach jiu-jitsu as a white belt. And I know people are going to be like, what? Shut up. I opened the school with a traditional martial arts background and a kickboxing background and a boxing background. So I had enough, especially for this area, to be able to sustain a martial arts background. But my whole goal was jiu-jitsu. So that's all I wanted to do. That's all I tried to do. And I look back at it now and I think, I can't believe people were paying me for what I was trying to teach them. And I'm thankful that they didn't know enough to know that I was probably full of shit. So, because I was a white belt, dude. Yeah. 2-stripe white belt trying to teach people the Kimura and shit. I know a lot of blue belts that don't know. They think that they didn't know how to do the Kimura or the Americana or the insert name.
I was trying to apply one today. I was like, how the fuck do I finish this? Where do I go
from here? It's been a long time. What's going on?
Crap.
But it's the biggest benefit for me when it comes to jiu-jitsu is, first of all, I love rolling. So when what I'm about to say doesn't make a lot of sense, because I'm going to say while it sucks and while you're getting, gi burn on your face and on your neck and somebody's cross facing you unintentionally, but
Thank God my wife understands. I came home with a thing over
dude,
here.
for sure.
Who gave you a hickey? How's that class?
It's Carlton.
She knows.
It's weird, yeah. So it's while you're in the middle of your world sucking.
Yep.
When you leave here, everything is easy.
Like Scott said, you're too tired to be angry.
You're too tired to be. We literally just had a guy say, "I'm too tired to be upset." Yes, that's what it's about.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's and this particular individual was having a pretty rough morning. Couple flat tires, ruined rim, and it was like, dude, you have to be here today. You have to come to class because this is exactly the type of day that you need this shit.
It's an amazing outlet.
It's an amazing outlet. So, give me your favorite move in jiu-jitsu.
Oh gosh. You know what I like is the omoplata. I think that move is freaking awesome.
Okay.
I got to land that today.
Did you?
I did.
Are you thinking it's your favorite move because you landed it today?
Probably. That was the first one there. I got to hit that, and then he rolled out of it, and I was able to catch the ankle. It was sweet. It was all just coming back to me. Oh, I got that.
Hey, I remember this.
Yeah. It was fun.
What's your least favorite thing?
My least favorite thing?
Least favorite thing or move about jiu-jitsu?
Oh, man. Always being on bottom.
Yeah.
I'm such a freaking power bottom. I hate it.
But you're a big dude. So if you were to focus on only being on top, your jiu-jitsu wouldn't be as good.
And I think...
What's Keith say? The lucky guy is the guy on bottom.
Right. Well, I don't know about all that. I'm getting crushed, but I don't know. I try to, I guess, put myself in bad positions. I focus more on trying to get out of stuff versus trying to actually finish a submission.
Okay.
It's not.
Yeah.
That's not top of my list, which it probably should be. But I'm more.
But you're just coming back.
Trying to get out.
You're just coming back, dude.
Right.
It's okay. Who is? So we're gonna put you on blast, and because we kind of touched on it a minute ago. Mm-hmm. But if you could name 3 people, the only 3 people for you to only roll with for the rest of your life, give me 3 people that you would be if you had to narrow it down to 3. If your wife said you can only roll with 3 people, 4 you'll get herpes. 3 you'll be safe. Like you want to roll with 3 people, who would it be?
Okay.
And why?
I'm gonna go with Rob.
Okay.
For number 1 because. I don't know. Rob's always been around. We've rolled together since I've started.
There's history.
Right. He's my buddy.
Yep.
So, Rob would definitely be one. I'm kind of torn right now if I want to say you or Justin for my second spot because you guys are both very fun to roll with and you both put me in positions where I'm flipping screwed.
Yeah.
I got to get out of this.
Yeah.
I don't know. You also give me a chance when I'm in the screwed position to think about where I need to go. It's not like you're trying to mess me up. So you and Justin are right there.
Okay.
Fuck, that's 4 though.
That's
I'm gonna
4.
have to say Wendy for my third one. Just we've already gone over that. Wendy's just got amazing skill.
Yeah.
Very talented. And she knows how to stop the big guy.
Yeah.
And she's such a little person, and she's actually applying these moves and it's working. So I mean,
she is one of the few people that truly plays jiu-jitsu.
Right.
She's not rolling. She's not competing. She's playing jiu-jitsu, and that's been my message to most people. Like the old schoolers, the OGs. You get it and you can appreciate it, and some people don't yet. And it's like, dude, if you let her play, you are going to see more jiu-jitsu.
Right.
With her than you're going to see with most of us guys.
Right. If you actually let the flow happen the way it should. All the moves feel natural.
Yeah.
And no one, like I said, we're not cranking on arms to try to hurt each other. It's like, that's there. Let it go.
Good
move
job.
on.
And just keep going. Yep.
Keep playing.
Yeah. So that makes me happy that she's in your list because she's in just about everybody's list.
Yeah.
So far, there's been a couple that have said no, I guess, but
I guess out of everybody, I mean, she was one of the ones that came here and actually took it seriously
because she had to.
Right.
When she jumped in, she knew I'm going to be the smallest, weakest person here, and I want to learn how to do this, and this is going to be a rough road. And dude, it's been fucking 7 years now.
I mean, obviously, you could probably overpower her, but
Yeah.
you're not doing anything but hurting both of you.
Right. Is that jiu-jitsu?
Right.
At that point, yeah. So, okay. So that's your, Rob, a tie between Justin and I, and then Wendy for your three. That makes sense. I could see that. I'm going to ask you a question that I haven't asked anybody else. So I'm literally putting you on the spot. Okay?
Okay, here we go.
All right. This is going to be awesome.
Maybe.
All right. If you could name one person that you would never roll with, who would it be? You're welcome. And when you so take a second to think about it.
Yeah.
And when you say it, look into the camera, and then tell me why. We're trying to hurt feelings today, guys.
Dude, clearly, are we former people that have been here too, I'm assuming? Sure. Mike Robinson.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude. That guy had something to prove every time he rolled.
Yeah.
And it would turn into more than just rolling.
You're right.
He would let you know, oh, I can ground and pound here. Oh, I could ground and pound there.
Yeah.
He was the MMA douchebag.
Yeah.
He was a douchebag.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Michael Robinson. No.
Okay. No, I totally get it. I totally understand. It's funny because all of your training partners were probably like, dude, if he says me, like, I bet Charles was at home like, dude, if he,
I love Charles.
Yeah, Charles is great.
Charles is a big playful guy. He's not
not malicious in the slightest.
Anybody that's currently coming here,
Yeah.
I'll roll with all of them all day.
Yeah.
I have no problem with anybody here. No one is trying to win a gold medal when they roll with me. So, well, maybe, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Some of them might be trying. They're just not succeeding. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So, as we've talked about, you've been back for a handful of classes. You're trying to get here when you can get here. You've been going through a transition for work and the whole 9 yards. Have you noticed an improvement with just the couple classes that you've been here in your life?
Oh, yeah. I would say that, like, just coming today, like, getting done rolling. We didn't actually go over anything, open mat, but I was still able to roll with 4 people and not feel like I was dying.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in the last few days.
Right.
So I was dying. I was dying.
Is your overall level of happiness higher? Or too soon to tell?
I would like to say yeah, but let's give it a little more time.
Sure.
Yeah.
How was that first class? How was the night of that first class? Like when you went home, were you fucking dead?
That whooped my ass, dude.
I bet,
like
dude.
I had pain, like in my thighs. That oh my god, I couldn't close my legs. My shoulder was doing this goofy thing. I was feeling
You got jujitsu'd
hard. Yeah. Take 3 breaks again or 3-year break again, motherfucker. We'll see what happens. Mistakes.
All right. Give me your fondest memory so far of jiu-jitsu. What's the you're on your deathbed and your life is flashing before your eyes and you only get one slide, one snippet in your life flashing before your eyes that is jiu-jitsu related. What is that? What is that picture of?
We had a seminar here with Keith Owen, and I don't really remember what movie we were going over nowadays, but we were drilling it, and he was watching me drill, and just came up to me and said, "You have a lot of potential in jiu-jitsu."
And that stuck with you.
That's fucking cool. Yeah, it's Keith Owen.
Fourth degree black belt, right?
That's fucking cool, man. It's someone, I mean, just to feel acknowledged like that was dope.
Yeah.
I mean, by someone such a high rank. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He was an amazing man.
Absolutely.
He could say the smallest thing and just go, whoa. Whether it be technical or whether it be just in passing or whether it be a compliment and he was he was such a great conversationalist that I would have given anything to be able to have him in this chair and
Oh,
be
yeah.
able to talk to him. And I watch his, when he's on other people's podcasts, I rewatch those often just so I can hear his voice. And he's such a good talker.
He is, man. I love the way he uses crud all the
and
time.
bum.
Yeah, he was very
Yeah.
skillful with using curse words that weren't
Yeah,
curse
it
words.
was just it's fantastic, but still get the point across.
Yeah.
I just love him. Love him and miss him dearly. So yeah. So that's awesome. That of all the stuff that you've got to experience in jiu-jitsu, you've traveled with me. You've been out to Idaho. We've been to seminars. So of all the things, and the one thing that stuck with you is the compliment from who was our professor.
Yeah.
Such a great mentor that we had. So that's pretty awesome. What else was there? Most of my questions are on that phone, and I now see the errors in my way.
Yeah, you need a legit camera, not your phone camera.
Not my phone camera. Yeah. Hey, this whole thing's new. Hey, by the way, this is the new set. You're the first one
That's right.
in this new set, and I think it's pretty dope. I'm hoping the audio is better than it was for Jared's. But what does the future look like for you? Like, how serious are you taking your return?
Hopefully very serious. I mean, now with the job and hopefully in a schedule where it's not going to inflict me coming out here. Hopefully we'll see what happens with my wife in that situation as far as like her job, what she's going to do, but there shouldn't be any reason. And I hope I could take this very seriously. And
Jump
be
right back into
full-time
the
again.
fire.
Yeah.
I love that. How old are you? 30?
31, actually.
31.
Fucking old, dude.
Bro, I have socks older than you.
Oh, well, okay. You're a dinosaur.
Dude, my God. I'm pushing 50, dude. Shut up.
Well, you look great.
Thank you. I appreciate
absolutely.
that. I think it's my childlike demeanor.
Sure.
So people often they underestimate how old I am. It's been awesome. I also like to think that because of jiu-jitsu, I'm still a child, and I can find humor in the smallest shit that we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does it? So when you left, I just got my brown belt.
Yep.
And that would literally, dude, I don't even think I was a stripe yet. And you had come for like a seminar here, come for a seminar there. Like we got to see you periodically. It's not like you just vanished and people were wondering where you were. It got to that point,
Yeah.
right? That it was like, has anybody talked to Steven? Like, what's going on, man? Yeah. And then, but when you came back just recently, I'm a black belt, and that's pretty dope.
That's huge.
Can you tell a difference rolling with me now that I'm a black belt, or does it just all feel the same to you? Because before you answer that, because I'm not looking for a specific answer, but I'll tell you this. I can't tell the difference between white and blue.
Okay, well, I'll say since I've first been coming here to now, you've always had many legs up on me. You've always known.
So that's what I mean. Like, can you even decipher?
I would say no. I mean, me personally, I mean, you've always known how to control.
Right.
And basically it's the same.
It's always like being thrown into a blender.
Yeah. I know I'm not going to get you.
Yeah.
I know you can get me when you want to.
Right.
And that might be just the fact that I know that makes rolling a little biased.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
It does. Yeah.
Like I know I'm going to get my ass stomped. I'm just going to go in here anyways for a good time. So I guess I would say no.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what I expected.
Yeah.
Like if everybody were to take their belts off, like, so unless you're a brand new white belt, like a year in, I really don't notice that much of a difference, like I said, between white and blue.
Right.
Because white belts bring an intensity that's unneeded.
Right.
I guess the only difference that I would notice is that blue belts typically are a little more chill. Purple belts are completely chill until it's time not to chill.
I think if you have your blue belt or higher and you're still rolling rough, you might have missed the point.
Yeah, I think something along that we have failed you.
Yeah.
We have not. Yeah. And we have no problem here asking people, like, are you upset?
Right.
What's going on, man? Like,
I'm sorry.
You're working through something? What's going on? So I think that's probably where we're different compared to a lot of schools is that
Right.
we will call people out on their roughness, like because there's no reason.
Just nothing to prove here, man. We're all trying to have
Just
fun.
buds.
Yeah.
Nobody's taking home one of those trophies.
Right.
Fuck it, you can take one. I don't care.
I'll only take mine.
You know what I mean? Like you take one as long as you chill out.
Right.
Like shit, we'll consider you a winner. But does it give you hope now that I'm a black belt that there is light at the end of the tunnel for your own progression? Because again, you started when I was a blue belt.
Right.
I couldn't test you.
I think just coming back and seeing everybody progress the way that they did. Yeah, if I keep at it, there's no reason that I shouldn't be able to move up as quick as they did.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
not to say, because like I said, I forgot a lot that I've fucking learned.
Yeah.
So I gotta basically start over. It feels like.
But Justin and I were talking about this the other day. You forgot a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Your timing's off, and it's noticeable to those who know you.
Yeah.
But what we've noticed is the important stuff stayed, right? The instinct stayed. The stuff that you know, like I got to get to this hip instead. I have to go here when they do this. Those things stayed, and those things take a long time to learn.
Right. Well, I hope at least that we had gone over it enough that it's just ingrained in there now, and I'll never forget the little things that matter. I guess.
Yeah, your ability to capitalize on a technique, that's gonna be gone,
Right.
And that's okay. Or when it goes away, you go, oh man, I could have had that.
It's mostly just trying to remember how to use my muscles again.
Right?
Yeah. I find that these people are just kind of tossing me down like a rag doll. Right. So
You feel kind of helpless.
a little bit.
Yeah. No, I love that. So do you, like, I'm bombarding you with questions. Do you have any for me? I don't want to.
Not right offhand, no.
Okay.
No.
Like I didn't know if while I'm asking you this, if it like, oh yeah, I want to fucking ask him this. Like you totally can. You can interrupt.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying. I had another question, but it's on my phone. I should probably check and make sure that's still
make sure
recording.
it's still recording anyways.
Yeah. Are you getting used to the headphones?
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I'm a gamer outside of here.
Oh.
Anyway, so some headphones
So
are
you're
fine.
good. All right. So we're at like the 50-minute mark.
Yep.
We had a couple minutes in the beginning that I'll shave off, but for the most part, this is uncut and I'm not editing anything out. But I always like to end every conversation with like just a super fast round of handful of questions.
Okay.
Okay. And I've asked a lot of them during our conversation, so I'll try to drum up a couple. Okay.
Okay.
Gi or no gi?
Oh, gi.
Why?
Because gi is more realistic to me. I live in a kind of a chilly place. Somebody's always got a coat on. Your coat's a weapon to me. So that's pretty cool. No gi. No gi is kind of gross, actually.
It is kind of gross. Competition, no competition.
No competition. I've done competitions, and it's not that they're terrible. It's just I don't like the pressure. Me personally, I've never been about competition anyway, so I don't really give a shit.
Can you still get good at jiu-jitsu without competing?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think I've asked anybody those questions yet, so you were the guy.
You're still coming down here to practice. I mean, competition is a different type of rolling.
It is a different type of rolling, and it's timed.
Yeah, like those are genuinely people that want to win.
Yeah.
They're rolling out there with a different intensity. And
Yeah.
my first competition, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I was trying to go in there with training partners,
Right.
and I was fucking wrong.
Right. And it doesn't, nothing against competitors.
No.
It's
You're
fantastic.
supposed to. I mean,
I've done jiu-jitsu competitions. I've competed, had a great time, have had horrible times, had great times.
Yeah.
Nothing against those that are into it, but you don't have to compete to be good at jiu-jitsu and to learn and to validate your learning.
No.
So I was having this competition. I was having this conversation yesterday with someone, and I was telling them about like when I started, kind of how we talked about earlier. When I started, there were a handful of blues at the place that I was going. Yep. Purple belts were unicorns. the instructor had just gotten, I think when I started, the instructor was a purple belt. So it was like him, and a couple years later, a couple more purple belts with a couple of the majority of them were white belts, right?
Yep.
And he asked me, do you think blue belts today are better at jiu-jitsu compared to blue belts of that genre?
Probably.
And I said, well, it depends on what your definition of better is.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, jiu-jitsu blue belts of that generation were more calloused.
Yep.
They were more hardcore. They were more, they embraced the suck. But did they know jiu-jitsu as good as blue belts of today? No. I think jiu-jitsu blue belts today have 10 times the knowledge that blue belts back then had.
Right.
It's not even close. I think blue and purple belts of today have the knowledge of black belts of that generation.
I mean, I don't know about that, but if, like, we have a curriculum that we base our teachings off of. And if you follow it, I'm a full-hearted believer that shit works.
It works.
And especially to the untrained eye.
Yeah.
Like, you're about to go over my shoulder and you don't know it.
You have no clue.
Right.
Purple belts of that, so purple belts of 20 years ago when I started, while they were unicorns and they were very rough and gritty and, man, they would just make your life hell. Because pressure back then was different than pressure is now. But purple belts back then,
A lot of safe spaces.
yeah. Compared to purple belts today, the amount of knowledge that we consume as jiu-jitsu practitioners that we're flooded with on a daily basis, the amount of knowledge that your instructor is able to give you now, I think purple belts of today have more knowledge than black belts of 20 years ago. It's not even close, dude.
Yeah.
Not even close. Now, that being said,
We also have a lot more access to all this.
way
information.
more.
Yeah.
Way more. Now, if you take a blue belt from when I had first started training versus your run-of-the-mill blue belt today, they'd probably smother the run-of-the-mill blue belt today, but the blue belt today would be able to show them 10 times more things.
Right.
Because their knowledge and understanding and the way that it's taught. Like back then, there was no curriculum, dude.
Right.
Back then, you got awarded your rank because you did really good in class and the instructor noticed.
Right.
Right? Like, or you went to seminars.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that I think that we have a curriculum that we base it off of.
Sure.
And just if it were similar to the way that you would do testings before we got under Keith Owen, to where it's show me this, show me that, show me this.
Yep.
Then, yeah, blue belts today would probably know more.
Yeah. And purple belts. Have you looked at that purple belt curriculum yet?
No.
We'll look at that on the way out.
Good. I'm going to need to learn it eventually.
It's unbelievable. When Keith Owen when we were in Brazil and we were talking about this curriculum, and they were almost wrapping it up.
Yep.
And they were wrapping up the editing. So everything had been shot except for one of the drills. And he goes, if people want to quit at blue, I'm going to give them a really good reason.
That's fair.
And then this came out, and we were like, "Oh my God, what in the world?" And he was serious. If you want to leave at blue belt, let me help you.
Well, I mean, blue to purple is a pretty big deal.
It's a big deal, dude.
Because
It's the first advanced rank.
like you said, the statistics, you're falling off at
Yeah,
blue.
yeah.
Right. And I guess that would be another pressure to me coming back. I got
Sure.
a freaking tattoo on my arm, dude. You've branded me to your cult.
Right.
I can't quit now. It's
Right.
Like, look ridiculous.
Yeah, 40 years from now, people are gonna be like, "What's that?" And you're like, "I don't know."
Star Wars.
Yeah, leave it alone.
Shut
It's the Wu-Tang Clan symbol. All right, white gi or black gi?
Irrelevant.
You don't care.
I don't care.
Whiskey or beer?
Beer.
When we were talking, I had like 5 more.
Come on.
You like the easy ones, don't you?
Sure do.
Okay. Morning training or evening training?
That's kind of tough. Evening training is going to work out for my schedule.
Yeah.
Morning training, I think, was a lot better, though. When we had our classes in the morning, I didn't care for what the class was then.
Right.
But when we had our classes in the morning,
It's a good way to start the day.
yeah, just get it up, get it out of the way.
Yeah.
And hopefully you're not dog ass tired for the rest of the day. But me personally, I always felt more energized.
Okay. You were,
Get your workout in.
Your
you're ready to go.
youthful exuberance.
That's true. I was also 20 years old. So.
Right. Who do you follow on? Do you follow any big names? Not even a big name. Just do you follow any characters online in the jiu-jitsu world?
Sure. I have Gordon Ryan on there. I have on my Instagram a couple of those black belts that we met from Idaho.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a few people on there.
Chris Burns.
No, I don't follow him.
Follow him.
Okay.
I've been telling people this. Yeah, look him up so I can confirm that you follow the right one.
I'm going to go with this one because it says Professor of Jiu-Jitsu.
That's the guy.
Nice.
Follow him. Follow him on Facebook and on Instagram. Great guy. Great resource. I think that you'll dig his style, the way that he teaches. Mm-hmm. I think that you'll like his personality. It's very entertaining. So That's a good one. I've been telling everybody to follow that guy. Good guy. Really, that's all I got.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Then now, once we get done and I look at my phone, I'll see like the 12 questions that I wanted to ask you.
Sure, I got a question for you. What did you think of that Gordon Ryan seminar?
You're a dick. Yeah. That's what I think.
Right?
I think that you're a dick for asking. You son of a bitch. It was a good seminar.
Sure was.
I think that it was over my head.
Way over my head.
I've been to much better seminars.
Yeah.
Gordon Ryan is inarguably the best jiu-jitsu competitor we've ever seen.
Sure.
I went for the picture.
He was very... yeah, it was a cool picture.
It's a great picture. Great guy. And hey, by the way, he's a great dude. I don't care what anybody... I know he gets a lot of hate.
Super chill. Well, I mean, he's pretty controversial online, but
yeah.
I mean, he's very chill in person. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not hard to get a minute and a word with him.
Yeah.
Like, he was super easy to talk to. He didn't brush you off. Like, great guy.
Yeah.
I liked him beforehand. I loved him afterwards. But the content that we covered...
No, well, when...
It was like, what? All right.
So we had, a Keith Owen... 1 or 2 Pedro Sauer seminars.
Yeah.
And their moves, it's just like, just drop your shoulder here and watch how he can't move.
Yeah.
Gordon Ryan's was make sure you got your nose firmly up his taint.
Yeah, let's invert and let's do this.
Right. Whoa, dude.
What are we talking about right now?
I lost 10 pounds at that fucking seminar.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Like I said, I went for the picture.
Yeah.
You know, it was great to meet him. The content did nothing for me. I'm sure other people, probably super competitive people, that they get a lot out of his seminar. I did not get that much out of that seminar.
We also focus a lot of gi stuff.
We do.
And he's
and that was all
primarily no gi.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely. Not that he wouldn't wreck us in gi.
Sure.
But yeah, you're right. The everything he teaches, all of his instructionals are all. So it's like, I get it. I don't regret going.
No.
But I've been to much better seminars.
That one was a rough one.
Yeah. That one got me. What's the best seminar you've ever been to?
I don't know if you would really consider it a seminar, but like when we went down to Idaho, that was a great time.
That was a great time. It was 12 sessions.
It felt like a seminar.
Yeah, well, it was 12 individual seminars.
Right. So
they were but they were 1 hour long. So the 12 instructors with 1 hour blocks.
It was a lot of information. I probably didn't retain any of it, but it was awesome.
Yeah, it was jiu-jitsu overload.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
It was fun. And I got to use an Uber for the first time.
Right, that's cool.
Really took advantage of it.
Yeah. No, that was fantastic. I would say that I learned the most from Pedro Sauer.
Yeah.
So Professor Sauer or Master Sauer, I would say any of the seminars that I've went to, I can still remember distinct things from each seminar.
Yep.
Every time that I've trained with him that I still use and attempt to use today.
Right.
Because he's just that good. And then in Brazil, when you're doing 3 times a day for 5 days, you're getting 15 seminars in a week from the guy.
Yeah, that's outstanding.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was jiu-jitsu overload. That was just like, whoa. But I recorded the entire thing. So I got, 30 hours of jiu-jitsu video from down there
right.
that I often rewatch. because it's gold, dude.
Right.
But yeah,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like just the little things that he
little
tells
stuff.
you, and how it makes such a huge difference.
mind
That's
blowing.
insane.
Yeah, the dude's unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
So I would say his was, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Keith Owen put on every seminar that we had here with Professor Owen was just awesome.
Oh yeah.
It was just unbelievable. And if we can't have him, we're lucky to be able to have Master Sauer.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And we're lucky geographically where we are that we're even able to get a coral belt here.
Right.
That's mind blowing.
Right.
So we are forever blessed in the jiu-jitsu lineage that we have. And
I like to think the CRowesNest is pretty established.
it's pretty established, dude.
Yeah.
It's been, so 18 years. Is that what it is? 2000. So in 2 more years, we'll be on our 20th. We'll be doing the 20th year anniversary.
Crazy.
And I don't know if I'm going to do like a big summer camp. Maybe see if I can't get some of the guys from Idaho up here. Maybe Josh and Todd. Maybe Cody. See if I can't extend an invite for them guys. Just do a big weekend deal for our 20th year, because Team Rhino is essentially why we are what we are now.
Absolutely.
And they've done nothing but
That was
support
definitely
us.
the turning point for
Dude,
the CRowesNest here.
For sure. They have done nothing but support us in all the right ways, and
It was finally the push in the direction that you wanted to go.
Yes.
And it just finally things started happening right.
Yes. It was like
able
we
to
finally
get all
caught a
those
break.
People out that were holding it back.
And I went to last year, around this time last year, I went to a black belt get together at Jeff Kern's place in Chicago. Jeff Kern is a 5th degree black belt under Master Sauer. And Josh and Todd from our association met me up there. They came up for it. So I got to train with them for 3 days in Chicago at the black belt get together, and I got to sit down with them and pick their brain, and we had good conversations, and I got to connect with them on a level that I didn't get to connect with them just going to Idaho.
Right.
So I know them and I understand them much better. I hope that they know me and understand me much better now. Yeah. I need to have one of them up for a seminar. It's just been too long. I need to have one of them come up. And
when was the last time you had a seminar here?
Peter Sauer.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
That was a while ago.
It's either Peter or Jeff Kern. Were you here for the Jeff Kern seminar?
That was probably your last one then, because I'm pretty sure I came for the Pedro seminar.
Jeff Kern, he gives a good seminar.
Yeah.
My God, he gives a good seminar. And that dude is obviously a 5th degree, but he's competed at ADCC, Strikeforce, UFC, Pride, WEC. You can't come up with a bigger platform. He's competed at all of them. And then you roll with him and you get it.
Yeah, all right. Makes sense.
Unbelievable, man. He had to do my brown belt evaluation to give me permission to test.
Yep.
And that dude is legit.
I imagine it's what I feel like rolling with you. Like,
Probably,
I know you're going to kick my ass, but let's do it.
It was slap, bump. Let's try not to die.
Yeah, right.
And that's what happened. But he was such a good dude. And he gave so much of his time to me to make sure that I was ready and to make sure that I represented well. I'm forever thankful to that guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's
awesome.
great. I mean, no one wants to see you fail, right?
Right,
so that's good.
right. And but the entire Pedro Sauer Association, when we went through the passing of Keith with Team Rhino, they really scooped in and was like, we can't let this fail.
Right.
Keith would, that'd be doing a disservice. And they held us up, and they made sure that we got through it. And then 2 of our black belts, so Josh and Todd, just got their 3rd degrees earlier this month, actually. So now they can actually promote black belts from within.
And that's cool.
So we don't have to rely on the Pedro Sauer Association as much, but they did. Yeah, it was unbelievable. They honored Keith in a way that only the Pedro Sauer Association could.
Right.
And that was pretty awesome. But yeah, no, it's been good, dude. I cannot tell you how happy I have been to have you back.
Well, I'm glad to be back, and I appreciate you guys welcoming me.
Absolutely.
So
You've been one of my favorite training partners for years. I loved it when you were here before. I remember the day you got your blue belt, and how I remember thinking to myself when the group of you, because you guys kind of moved in a cluster.
Yeah.
And when the group of you finally went from green to blue, it just warmed my heart, right? And when you had to inevitably take the time off, take the time away, you were one of the few that when you started to distance yourself, that I thought, man, I think I'm going to lose this guy. I don't think he's ever coming back.
See, and I didn't want that, like,
Yeah.
but I felt that happening myself.
Yeah.
That's why I needed to come back. Because if I didn't, I wasn't going.
Right.
You know, it was
Well, the statistic
all
is
or
6
nothing.
months.
Yeah.
If you're a blue belt and you're gone for 6 months, you're not coming back.
Right.
Or you'll come back and do high fives and roll and once every 4 months.
Right.
And then you'll just eventually disappear. That's the statistic that we see here.
Yep.
If you're gone for 6 months, we had a person come up and tell me that they were taking time off.
Yep.
They wanted to suspend their membership. And I said, that's fine. Just do me a favor. Once a month. Come in on Saturday.
All right. Keep yourself motivated.
Once a
dedicated.
month.
Yeah.
If you can come in once a month, you're not going to quit forever.
Right.
If I don't see you in 6 months, I'm probably going to see you at Walmart and it's going to be weird.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like once a month, dude. Just come in once a month.
That's what I'm saying. Meeting you at the voting line, I was like, oh, man, I
right?
have nothing to tell this guy. I
Yeah.
have nothing good to say. Son of a gun.
Yeah.
Like, it was like if I wasn't telling you I was coming back, I felt like I just had no good news to tell you.
And that literally was the
Right.
first time we had seen each other.
It was too.
How did we never ran into each other at a store, at a gas station, at a restaurant? We never ran into each other the entire time you were gone. And I look up and there you and your wife are walking to get in line to vote. And I was like,
It's a hell of a line.
it's Steven. No way.
Oh, it was quite mind blowing. And then seeing your boy who's now taller than you are.
Yeah, he's a monster, dude.
Yeah, it was insane. When the last time I was here, he was not even taller than me yet. Like crazy.
Yeah, just nuts, man. It's been a good ride, and like I said, just super excited to have you back. When we leave, we're gonna walk over there, and I'm gonna show you the purple belt curriculum, so you can kind of get an idea.
Okay.
Of what that's all about. We have a couple people working on it right now, but it's monstrous. Anything you want to say before we go?
No, I love you.
I love you, dude. I love you, and you're always welcome. And
you.
I can tell you that the student body rejoices at your return, and that everybody's just as happy as I am to have you back. So
Yeah. I appreciate the fact that you guys aren't rushing me because obviously I didn't make it last week, and
Yeah.
I still have things going on. As I still have kids at home. Right?
would you have came today if it wasn't for the podcast?
Oh yeah, probably.
It was still- okay,
in my,
still planned.
it was still in my itinerary to make it here.
Gotcha.
so.
Okay. And when I texted you last night and didn't hear anything, I was like, "This son of a bitch might not be coming today."
I probably passed out before I
Oh.
seen your text.
Okay, because I got your response this morning, and I'm like, "Oh, all right. I guess we're still doing it."
Yeah, it's still we're good.
Yeah, all right.
I just with my wife still doing 2 jobs,
Yeah.
dude. Taking kids with you everywhere is it's a damn
It's
chore.
rough. It's rough.
I don't like doing it.
I do not miss those days.
Yeah.
My kids are they're grown and independent, and they have jobs and they have cars, and I don't miss the period.
Which is weird because they're like, you're gonna miss this,
Dude, you're not. You
Shut
don't.
The fuck up.
You don't. When they can feed themselves and bathe
Right.
themselves and
Right, and it's
run to the store themselves, you don't miss it.
with evening class where it is. It's like right in the middle of bedtime and shit too. So it's like
Yeah.
make it out when I can.
Yeah.
And
Well, let your wife know that we're deeply appreciative that she's letting you, and you deserve time to do your thing.
no, sure.
And I think most women get that.
Yeah,
Some
she-
don't.
She gets it.
But most women get that, and I think that she'll be reminded pleasantly of the benefits that it brings you, with your overall well-being,
Yep.
and you're a more attentive father, you're a more attentive husband, you're a better friend when you have an outlet and when you're given space to grow and better yourself. You know?
Yeah, and it's not that obviously you don't want them around, right? But just coming down to jiu-jitsu and being able to just let it all go.
Yeah.
You have no other worries
Yep.
for the next hour and a half.
Yep.
Other than don't let this guy fucking take your arm.
Yeah.
And it's very simple.
It's very
quiet.
simple. It's easy.
I like it.
All right, buddy. Let's get out of here. Let's go look at that purple belt curriculum just so I can scare the shit out of you.
All right. Goodbye, world.
See.